Students, today we are going to study the curvature. Curvature is nothing but the numerical measurement of the sharpness of bending of a curve. Graphically, if we take this as x-axis and this as y-axis, and if we consider the curve, suppose A is the fixed point on this curve from which the length of an arc is measured. If we take the point P, then this is the tangent which makes an angle alpha with x-axis. If we take another point which is denoted by Q and we take another tangent from the point Q and it makes an angle alpha plus delta alpha. Now the length of this arc AP is S and the length of arc PQ is del S. So curvature means the rate of change of the direction of tangent at a point P of the curve with respect to the length of the arc S along the curve. You can say length of arc which is denoted by S, and this is the curvature. So in mathematical notation we denote it by the symbol kappa, K. Mathematically this is limit Q approaches to P and delta alpha means rate of change of the angle alpha with respect to the length of the arc. Q approaches to P means here delta S. This limit can be written as limit delta S tends to 0. When Q approaches to P, it means the length delta S approaches to 0, and this is delta alpha delta S, which is d alpha by ds. So mathematically, when we calculate the curvature at a particular point P, this is nothing but the derivative of angle alpha with respect to the S. S is the length of the arc AP. Clearly, this may be positive or it may be negative, but we here consider the curvature is always positive, so we denote the curvature as modulus of d alpha and ds. So this is the mathematical definition of curvature at a particular point P of the curve. Now if we see this curve again, here we take a normal. If we take a normal at P, which is denoted by this, and this represent point M. If we draw a normal at Q, normal means perpendicular, and these two normal intersect at the point M. Suppose this angle is alpha, this is alpha plus delta alpha. So the angle of intersection between two tangent, one tangent is at point P and other tangent is at point Q, this angle is delta alpha. Now since these normal intersect at the point M, so this angle is also delta alpha. Now this is your curve, you can denote it as PQ arc PQ. Now if we draw a straight line, you can say this is a chord P2, chord P2. This is a right angle triangle. Here you see, if Q approaches to P, then what will happen? Q approaches to P, then this point M moves to the fixed point C, and this point C is called the center of curvature. And the distance PC, this is called radius of curvature. We denote the radius of curvature by symbol rho. Now we try to determine the radius of curvature, and the circle having center is this fixed point C and radius is this rho, then this circle is called circle of curvature. Now if we take this as angle phi, now consider the triangle PMQ. From this triangle we see this is a perpendicular distance and this is hypotenuse, so PM perpendicular upon hypotenuse QM, this is sine of phi. So that implies PM upon sine phi is QM. Again we see here, this is consider this as a perpendicular distance, and this perpendicular distance is PQ upon hypotenuse QM, and this is angle sine delta alpha, and this implies PQ upon sine delta alpha is QM. So from both these expressions we get PM upon sine phi is equal to PQ upon sine delta alpha. Here PQ means chord PQ. So this can be written as PM is chord PQ into sine phi upon sine delta alpha. Now we rewrite it as PM is chord PQ upon arc PQ into arc PQ upon sine delta alpha upon delta alpha into sine phi. Now we rewrite this expression as PM is equal to chord PQ arc PQ into arc PQ is, this is P and this is Q, and the length of this arc is del S upon del alpha into del alpha upon sine del alpha into sine of phi. Now we take the limit P tends to Q tends to P. if Q approaches to P, then chord PQ approaches to, yeah, similar to, you can say, arc PQ. That means this limit goes to, that implies chord PQ upon arc PQ goes to 1. Also this will goes to 1, because limit x tends to 0, we know sin x upon x is 1. Also if Q approaches to P, then this angle is pi by 2, so this phi tends to pi by 2, and sin pi by 2 is 1. So from all these expressions we get limit Q tends to P, Pm is equal to, this will goes to 1 into limit Q tends to P del S by del alpha into 1, and this is also 1. So what is Q when Q approaches to P, Pm, it will be Pc. When Q approaches to P, M moves towards the point C. So this is Pc, and this is equal to limit delta S tends to 0. Q approaches to P means this arc length will approaches to 0, and this is delta S upon delta L. And as we have already defined that Pc is nothing but the radius of curvature. So rho is limit del S tends to 0 del S by del alpha, that means ds by d alpha, and this is 1 upon kappa. Kappa is the curvature. So we concluded that curvature is equal to 1 upon rho. This is the radius of curvature. So if we know the radius of curvature, we can determine the curvature, and if we know the curvature, we can determine the radius of curvature at a particular point given on the curve. Now we discuss some special cases, means if the curve is of the form y equal to fx, then how can we determine the radius of curvature as well as curvature? So case first is, if the curve is of type y is equal to fx. As we know, the length of ds by dx, this is defined as 1 plus dy by dx whole square in such a curve y equal to fx. And tan of alpha is dy by dx. So if we differentiate this with respect to x, both sides, what we will get? Differentiate this expression, both sides, with respect to x. So it will be sec square alpha d alpha by dx. And from this can be written as, because we are here differentiating it with respect to x, so it can be written as d square by dx square. Or in another words, we can rewrite it as y double prime. This is the y double prime means second derivative of y with respect to x. Or in some books it can be written as y2. y2 is second derivative of y. Now as we know, sec square alpha is 1 plus tan square alpha. So using this value, tan alpha is dy by dx, we can denote it by y prime, or in some books it can be written as y1. So it can be written as 1 plus tan square alpha is 1 plus y prime. So using this expression in this, so we get 1 plus y prime d alpha by dx is y double prime. So from this this is 1 plus tan square alpha, and tan alpha is y prime, so this is y prime square. So this gives 1 plus y prime square d alpha by dx is y double prime. So here we get d alpha by dx is y double prime and y plus y prime whole square. This is equation number 1. As we know, ds by dx is under root of 1 plus dy by dx whole square. So this can be written as ds by dx is under root 1 plus y prime whole square. So from this we concluded that d alpha by dx upon ds by dx, which can be written as d alpha by dx is y double prime 1 plus y prime whole square, and ds by dx, this is 1 plus y prime square 1 this is ds by dx is 1 plus y prime square 1 by 2. So this can be written as y double prime 1 plus y prime square 3 by 2, and this is nothing but the kappa. Kappa means the curvature. So the radius of curvature is, in this case, radius of curvature means rho, which is 1 upon k, and this will be 1 plus y prime square 3 by 2 upon y double prime, or in some books it is written as 1 plus y1 square 3 by 2, and this is y2. Here y means derivative of y with respect to x, and y2 is second derivative of y with respect to x. So in this situation, the radius of curvature, when the curve is y equal to fx, then the radius of curvature can be written in this form: 1 plus y1 square raised to power 3 by 2 upon y2. Now the second possibility is, if the given curve is written in parametric form, means if we write x as some function phi of t and y as some function psi of t, then we derive what is the curvature and what is the radius of curvature in this case. So for this, as we know, in such a situation, ds by dt, this can be written as dx by dt ka whole square plus dy by dt whole square, and tan of alpha is dy by dx. So again tan alpha is dy by dx. So again here we rewrite it as tan alpha as dy by dt and dx by dt. Now what is dy by dt? Dy by dt means this is y prime, and dx by dt is this is x prime. Y prime means derivative of y with respect to t, and x prime means derivative of x with respect to t. So tan alpha can be written as y prime x prime. Now we differentiate this both sides with respect to t. What we will get here? This can be written as differentiate tan alpha equal to dy by dx with respect to t, both sides. So we will get here, dy by dx tan alpha is also, this can be written as y prime x prime. If we differentiate it with respect to t, from the left hand side we can rewrite it as sec square alpha, and this is d alpha by dt, and here the differentiation is x prime as it is, and this is y double prime minus y prime as it is, and the derivative of this with respect to this is x double prime, and in the denominator we rewrite it as x prime whole square. Again, as we know, sec square alpha, this can be written as 1 plus tan square alpha, and tan square alpha, as we know, tan alpha is y prime x prime, so this can be written as 1 plus y prime square x prime square. So using this can be written as x prime square plus y prime square upon x prime square. Now using this value sec square alpha here, we can rewrite it as x prime square plus y prime square upon x prime square d alpha by dt, and this is equal to x prime y double prime minus y prime x double prime upon x prime square. So x prime square cancel, so we get here d alpha by dt, which is x prime y double prime minus y prime x double prime divided by x prime square y prime square. Also ds by dt, this can be written as under root x prime square plus y prime square. In another notation, this can be written as x prime square plus y prime square raised to power 1 by 2. So now the value of kappa means curvature is d alpha by dt, you know, d alpha by ds, this can be written as d alpha by dt and dt by ds. So it can be written as d alpha by dt upon ds by dt, and d alpha by dt is x prime y double prime minus y prime x double prime x prime square plus y prime square, and this is divided by x prime square plus y prime square raised to power 1 by 2. So this can be written as, this is power 1 and this is 1 by 2. So we get here the curvature is x prime y double prime minus y prime x double prime, and this is divided by x prime square plus y prime square, and it is power 3 by 2. So this is the curvature when the equation of curve is written in parametric form, and the radius of curvature is here. This is rho, which is 1 upon k, and this is written as x prime square plus y prime square raised to power 3 by 2, and this is x prime y double prime minus y prime x double prime. So in case of parametric equation, this is the curvature, and this formula gives the radius of curvature. Now if the curve is given as the implicit function, that means if we rewrite the curve as fxy equal to 0. Now if we have to determine the curvature and radius of curvature, then what will be the formula for that types of curves? So as we know, radius of curvature in case of y equal to fx, this is 1 plus y1 square upon y2, and this is power 3 by 2, or this can be written as 1 plus y prime square raised to power 3 by 2, and this is y double prime. So as fxy equal to 0, if we differentiate it with respect to x, both sides, what we will get? This can be written as curly f by curly x dx by dx plus curly f by curly y dy by dx, and this is equal to 0. So from this symbol, this is denoted by fx and this can be denoted by fy. So this gives dy fy dy by dx is minus fx, and that implies dy by dx is minus fx upon fy. So this is the value of derivative of y with respect to x, which is minus fx, means partial derivative of f with respect to x, and divided by partial derivative of f with respect to y. Or in another notation, we can denote it as y prime is minus fx upon fy. Now we determine the second derivative. Second derivative of y with respect to x, it is minus f of y as it is, and the partial derivative of fx with respect to x. So it is fxx plus, now partial differentiate fx with y. So this can be written as fyx dy by dx. Next, minus fx as it is, and the derivative partial derivative of fy with respect to x, this is fxy, and with respect to y, this is fyy dy by dx, and the whole thing is divided by fy square. Now when we simplify this and put the value of dy by dx as, this is dy by dx minus fx upon fy, this can be written as fxx fy plus fyx fy, and dy by dx is minus fx upon fy. Now after this, minus fx into fxy minus fx fy, and the value of dy by dx is minus fx upon fy, and the whole thing is divided by fy cube. Now when we take the LCM, this expression can be written as fy square fxx, and this is minus fx fy fxy, and this is also, when we take the LCM fy, this term also becomes minus fx fy xy, and this will plus fx whole square fx square fyy. Fyy means partial derivative, second derivative of f with respect to y. Derivative means here partial derivative, and this whole thing is divided by fy cube. So from this we get y double prime, this is minus of f of xx fy square, and minus 2 fx fy fxy plus fyy into fx whole square, and whole thing is divided by fy cube. Therefore the radius of curvature, as we know, the formula for the radius of curvature is 1 plus y prime square raised to power 3 by 2, and this thing is divided by y double prime. When we put the values of y prime and y double prime in this expression, we get the radius of curvature is written as this is 1 plus y prime square, means fx square upon fy square, and whole power 3 by 2, and in the denominator y double prime, and this can be written as minus of fxx fy square minus 2fx fy fxy, and this is plus fyy into fx square, and whole thing is divided by fy cube. When we take the LCM of this and take the power 3 by 2, this is written as, in other words we can say, the radius of curvature is fy square plus fx whole square raised to power 3 by 2. And f by cube cancel with this f by cube, and this is f by square in the denominator, f by square, and square to 1 by 2 cancel, so it is f by cube, and f by cube is cancelled with this f by cube. So in the denominator the term is fxx fy minus 2 fx fy fxy plus fy by fx square. So when the given equation is of the form this, that means implicit equation. In this case, when we try to find the radius of curvature, we have to determine the values of partial derivative with respect to x, partial derivative of f with respect to y, second partial derivative of f with respect to x, fy, fx, fy, fxy, fyy, fx square. Here fxx means curly square f curly x square. fxy means curly square f curly x curly y, and fyy means curly square f curly y square. So using this formula we can find the radius of curvature, and to determine only the curvature it is 1 upon the radius of curvature. Now we will try to understand all these cases with the help of some examples. So first of all we consider a curve. That means the question is we have to determine the curvature and radius of curvature for the curve x square plus y square equal to a square at any point xy. So this is the curve of type y equal to fx, and as we know in this case the radius of curvature is 1 plus y1 square upon y2, and this is power 3 by 2. y1 means partial derivative of y with respect to x, and y2 means partial derivative of y, second derivative with respect to x. y1 means dy by dx, not partial derivative. This is the derivative of y with respect to x, and y2 is second derivative of y with respect to x. So if we differentiate this both sides with respect to x, what we will get? This is 2x and this is 2y dy by dx, and this term will be 0. So from this we get x plus y into y1. Yeah, you can say y prime. This is 0. So from this expression we get what is y1? y1 is minus x upon y. Now again differentiate this with respect to x. What we will get? This is 1 and this is y as it is. The derivative of y1 is y2 plus y1 as it is, and the derivative of y is also y1, and this is equal to 0. So from this we get the equation 1 plus y into y2 plus y1 square equal to 0. If we put the value of y1 as minus x by y, this equation gives 1 plus y into y2 and y1 square. y1 square means this is plus x square upon y square equal to 0. When we simplify this expression, this is y square plus y into y square y2 plus x square equal to 0, and the LCM is, yeah, you can say, if you this can be written as x square, this expression can be written as only consider these two terms. This is x square plus y square upon y square plus y into y2 equal to 0. Now x square plus y square, this is given as a square upon y square plus y into y2 equal to 0. So from this y into y2 is minus a square upon y square, and that gives y2 is minus a square upon y2. So the first derivative is minus x upon y and the second derivative is minus a square upon y cube. when we put these values in this expression, means to determine the radius of curvature, we will put the value of y1 and y2 in this expression. So the radius of curvature will be 1 plus y1 square, means plus x square upon में y square whole raised to power 3 by 2. And in the denominator y2 second derivative is minus a square upon y cube. So when we simplify this taking the LCM, this is x square plus y square, and this will become y square 3 by 2, and this is minus a square upon y2. So this will become x square plus y square raised to power 3 by 2, and this will be y3, and again minus a square upon में y cube. When we cancel y2, y cube to y cube, we get the radius of curvature is x square plus y square 3 by 2, and this is minus a square. If we put the value of x square plus y square as a square, so this will be a square 3 by 2 and minus a square. So this will become 2 cancel. This is a3 minus a square, a से a. So radius of curvature is minus of a. So in such a situation, the curvature is 1 upon rho, which is minus 1 upon a. But we have already told to you the curvature is always taken to be positive. So here the curvature is 1 upon a when we take the modulus value of this. So we get that how can we determine the radius of curvature as well as curvature for that types of curve. We have to determine the first derivative and second derivative and put these values in this expression. We get the value of radius of curvature, and to determine the curvature we take this is the 1 upon the radius of the curvature. Now we consider another example, which is the curve of type parametric. Here we have to determine the radius of curvature. The given curve is here, if you note it, is x is equal to a t minus sin t and y is equal to a 1 minus cos t. Determine the curvature as well as radius of curvature to this parametric curve at point t equal to pi. So as we know, the radius of curvature in this case is x prime square plus y prime square raised to power 3 by 2 and x prime y double prime minus y prime x double prime. This is the expression for the radius of curvature in case of parametric equation. Here x prime means dx by dt and y prime denotes the dy by dt. So since x is a t minus sin t, that implies dx by dt, it will be a is taken as constant and the derivative of this is 1 t, the derivative of t with respect to t is 1 and the derivative of sin t is cos t. So this is a 1 minus cos t. Now dy by dt, as y is a 1 minus cos t, so a is constant and cos t is minus sin t and minus is also given here. So this will become plus, so this is a sin t. So derivative of y with respect to t is a sin t. Now to determine the second derivative, this is your x prime and this is y prime. The second derivative is d square x dt square. We again differentiate this expression with respect to t. So a and cos t, derivative of cos t is sin t, minus sin t and minus is here. So this is a sin t and d square y dt square. This is a of cos t. Now we have to determine the radius of curvature when t is equal to pi. So when we put the value of t is equal to pi, the derivative dx by dt, what is the value of this? When we put t equal to pi, what is the value of cos pi? Cos pi is minus 1 and this is minus 1 and minus, this is plus 1 and this is 1, so it will become 2a. Now dy by dt, as we know sin pi is 0, so this will become 0. In the similarly we can say d square x dt square is 0 because sin pi is 0, and d square y dt square is minus a. क्योंकि cos of pi is -1, so it will become minus a. So when we put this value in this expression, we get radius of curvature is x prime. X prime means 2a का whole square. This is your x prime, this is y prime, this is x double prime, this is y double prime. So y prime is 0, so it will become 0, and x prime is 2a into y double prime is minus a, and minus y prime is 0 and x double prime is 0, and whole power is 3 by 2. So 2 say 2 cancel, it will be 2a raised to power 3, and this will become minus of 2a square because this is minus a and this is 2a. So it will become 8a cube, and in the denominator this is 2a square. 2 4 is 8, a square is a, so this is minus 4 of a. So the radius of curvature for this is minus 4a. So the curvature is 1 upon rho, and we always take the positive value, so this will become 1 upon 4. So in case of parametric equation, here we get the radius of curvature is minus 4a, and using this formula we can determine the radius of curvature, and the curvature is 1 upon the radius of curvature, which is 1 upon 4a for the given example. Now we discuss how to determine the radius of curvature for a polar curve. Polar curve means when the given curve is denoted as r is equal to f theta. So to determine the radius of curvature, for r equal to f theta, which is a polar curve. In case of polar curve, we know x is r cos theta and y is r sin theta. So treat this as a parametric curve which is depending upon the function theta. So if we take dx by d theta, what we will get? Dx by d theta. So dx by d theta will be, this is, when we differentiate it, it will become r as it is, and the derivative of cos theta is minus of sin theta, and plus the derivative of r is r prime and cos theta as it is. So it can be written as r prime cos theta minus r sin theta. And dy by d theta, what it will be? Dy by d theta, if we denote it as y is r sin theta, so the derivative is r prime and sin theta as it is, plus derivative of r is r prime and sin theta as it is. Now r as it is, and the derivative sin theta, it will become cos theta. So dx d theta is r prime cos theta minus r sin theta, and dy by d theta is r prime sin theta plus r cos theta. That implies dy by dx as dy by d theta upon dx by d theta, and which gives r prime sin theta plus r cos theta upon r prime cos theta minus r sin theta. Now we have to differentiate this with respect to x, and to determine the second derivative, which is d square y upon dx square. Treat this as first function and this as second. So it will be second function as it is, derivative of first function minus first function as it is, derivative of second function, and whole thing is divided by second function का whole square. So using this we can rewrite this as d square y upon dx square. We are differentiating this with respect to x, and the function is depending on r and theta. So we use this r prime cos theta minus r sin theta. Second one is as it is. Now derivative of this function with respect to x. So we firstly differentiate it with respect to theta and then taken the derivative of theta with respect to x. So it will be first function as it is, derivative of second is cos theta, plus second function as it is, and the derivative of first is r double prime. Similarly, first function as it is, derivative of cos theta is minus sin theta, and derivative of r is r prime and cos theta as it is, plus minus first function as it is. First means this r prime sin theta plus r cos theta, and the derivative of second one, that means this function. So take here the first function as it is, derivative of cos theta is minus sin theta, plus second function cos theta as it is, and derivative of r prime is r double prime, minus here also first function as it is, derivative of sin theta is cos theta, and minus sin theta as it is, and the derivative of r is r prime, and the denominator is the square of second function. So it can be written as r prime cos theta minus r sin theta का whole square. So now we simplify this expression, and when we simplify this expression we get that d square y upon dx square, this is r prime cos theta minus r sin theta, and it is r prime cos theta, this will be 2r prime cos theta, and this term is r double prime sin theta plus 2r prime cos theta minus r of sin theta. Again this gives r prime sin theta plus r of cos theta, and this gives r double prime cos theta minus r prime sin theta minus r prime sin theta. It will be 2r prime sin theta, and the last term is minus r of cos theta, and in the denominator we get r prime cos theta minus r sin theta. This is the differentiation with respect to theta. So we add this term also, multiply this with d of theta upon d of x, or in another words this can be that dx by d theta, and as we know x is r cos theta, so dx by d theta is r prime cos theta as it is minus the derivative as r is as it is, and the derivative of cos theta is sin theta. So it will become, when we simplify this, d square y dx square, when we multiply both the expression we get this is equal to r prime r double prime cos theta sin theta, and the second one is 2 r prime square cos square theta, and third term gives r prime cos theta, and from this we get r double prime sine square theta, and this terms gives 2r r prime sine theta cos theta, and this term multiplication of these terms gives r square sine square theta. Now multiply both these terms, we get this is r prime r double prime sine theta cos theta, and this gives 2 r prime square sine square theta, r prime sine theta minus 2 r prime sine theta minus 2 r prime sine square theta, and multiplication of this term with this, it gives r prime sine theta cos theta. Now multiply whole this expression with these terms, we get plus r prime cos square theta minus 2r prime cos theta sin theta, and minus r square cos square theta. Now whole thing is divided by dx by d theta is r prime cos theta minus r sin theta, so it will become r prime cos theta minus r sin theta raised to power 3. This gives d square y dx square is. Here you see this term cancel with these terms. Now the second terms gives 2r prime square, because 2r prime square cos square theta, and here this is also plus 2r prime square sin square theta. Cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1, so we will get here 2r prime square. Now see the third term, minus r prime cos theta, it will be cos theta sin theta, minus r prime cos theta sin theta, and here you see this is plus r prime sin theta cos theta, so it will also cancel. Now see the fourth term, this is minus r prime r double prime sin square theta, and this is also minus r double prime cos square theta, so it will gives minus r double prime, because sin square theta plus cos square theta is here 1. Now the fifth term gives minus 2r prime sin theta cos theta, here minus plus 2r prime, so it will also cancel. Now the last term gives r square sin theta plus r square cos theta, so it gives r square, and this whole thing is divided by r prime cos theta minus r sin theta whole cube. Now from this we can rewrite it as, now as we know y is r of sin theta, so dy by d theta is r prime sin theta, this is r prime, and the derivative sin theta as it is, and now again plus r as it is, and the derivative of sin theta is cos theta. So dy by dx is r prime sin theta plus r cos theta, and it is divided by dx by d theta, which is r prime cos theta minus r sin theta. So 1 plus d square, 1 plus dy by dx का whole square, 1 plus dy by dx का whole square, it gives 1 plus r prime sin theta plus r cos theta का whole square. This is divided by r prime cos theta minus r sin theta का whole square. And when we simplify this, this gives the value of 1 plus dy by dx whole square is 1 plus dy by dx whole square. It gives, this is r prime cos theta minus r sin theta का whole square plus r prime sin theta plus r cos theta का whole square, and in the denominator we get r prime cos theta minus r sin theta का whole square. And when we simplify, we direct rewrite it as, when we simplify this and solve this expression, we get here r square plus r prime square, and this whole thing is divided by r prime cos theta minus r sin theta का whole square. Now the radius of curvature is, we know this is 1 plus dy by dx का whole square is 3 by 2 and d square y by dx square. When we use all these values, we get 1 plus dy by dx का whole square, and this is r square plus r prime square, r prime cos theta minus r sin theta का whole square, and the power of this is 3 by 2 according to this. Now d square by dx square, this is 2 r prime square minus r double prime plus r square upon r prime cos theta minus r sin theta raised to power 3. So when we solve this, r prime cos theta minus r sin theta का whole square, it will cancel with 1 by 2, so it will give the power cube. So we will cancel this and we get here r square plus r prime raised to power 3 by 2, and this whole thing is divided by 2r prime square minus r double prime plus r square. So this is the radius of curvature when the curve is polar. Now we solve a problem on the basis of this. So we should note the thing that if r is equal to f theta, then the radius of curvature is r square plus r prime square and 2 r prime square minus r double prime plus r square, and the power of numerator is 3 by 2. Here one thing is note that r prime is derivative of r with respect to angle theta. We have to find the curvature. The question is find the curvature of the curve r is equal to a sin 2 theta at the point theta equal to 5 by 4. So for this we need dr by d theta, which will be a is taken as constant and sin 2 theta is 2 cos 2 theta. The derivative of 2 theta is 2 with respect to theta and sin 2 theta is cos 2 theta. Again differentiate this d square r and d theta square. What it will be? It is 2a is constant and the derivative of 2 theta is again 2 and cos 2 theta is minus sin 2 theta. That implies d square r d theta square is minus 4a sin 2 theta. And now the value of r at theta equal to pi by 4. Theta equal to pi by 4 means this gives sin pi by 2 and sin pi by 2 is 1. So this will give the value a. Now the value of dr by d theta at theta is equal to pi by 4. When we put pi by 4, it gives pi by 2 and cos pi by 2 is 0. So dr by d theta is 0 here. Again d square r d theta square. When we use the value theta is equal to pi by 4. So sin pi by 2 which pi by 4 pi by 2 sin pi by 2 gives 1. So the value is minus 4a. So when we substitute all these values, we get here r square. R square means a square plus r prime square means 0 and whole power 3 by 2. Now 2 r prime is 2 into 0 minus r is a, and second derivative of r with respect to theta, this is minus 4a plus r square means a square. So we get here a square raised to power 3 by 2, and this expression gives 4a square plus a square 5a square, and 2 से 2 cancel, it will gives a cube upon 5a square. So a square, so this gives a by 5. So the curvature of this radius of curvature of this curve is a by 5. So using this, when we replace this by 1 by rho means curvature, it will gives you the value of curvature. And thanks to you for